Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a short video for anybody out there looking for handyman service and trying to use Angie's List or Handy. I work for Handy, which also goes through Handy's List and Homeadvisor. My wife does the same thing. They offer handyman services, cleaning services, installation services, whatever. But here's something you need to know. They are out to charge you money, whether you take the job, have a job done. It doesn't matter. Once you sign up with Angie's List or Handy, they are going to rip somebody off, whether the job is done or not. Maybe if it was done, it wouldn't be considered ripping off, but it is to me, because the way I see them work constantly is, for one, when you accept a job, their platform doesn't give you a lot of details where you don't always know what's going to be expected or actually need to be done. Half the time when you, as a customer, need something done, you don't know exactly what needs to be done, how much it's going to cost, blah, blah, blah. Handy doesn't provide that information for you. Instead, Angie's List, Homeadvisor, and Handy, they charge you X amount of money by the time it gets to Handy to have someone come out, which may not even be nothing but the labor. May not be to actually fix the job. It may be the labor of the job, and you might need another $500,000 worth of parts. And now that I showed up, now you got to pay me $300 for showing up to do a job that you weren't prepared to do, because Handy didn't allow all the information. Here's the problem, big problem. I can't even call you as a customer from your pro and say, hey, let's talk some details about this and let's figure out what's going to go on. And that way, when I show up, we can get the job done, no problem, until 24 hours before the job. Now, here's the problem. The pros get penalized if we cancel within 48 hours. So if we accept a job, so just know this, sometimes your jobs don't get accepted because there's not enough information, and we are not allowed to contact the customer until we already are going to be charged a fee if we cancel. So if I take a job that has 3 days, it's 3 days before, and it doesn't have all the information, and I want to get a hold of you as a customer so we can have it taken care of and done efficiently and in one trip if possible and to your expectations. I can't, but what you need, they didn't have in their platform, in the app or on the computer. So then I get it and I'm like, well, I don't know what to do here. I need to contact the customer. And then I look at it and I can't contact you until the day of, which means if it's something that is unable to be done in the amount of time that you've booked that I've accepted, you're going to end up paying and not getting nothing done. Or I'm going to have to cancel and incur a fee. For instance, my wife right now is also doing the handy stuff, and she helps me whenever we do handyman stuff, and then she does house cleaning herself. She had a client call her yesterday on Easter after normal working hours, so it was after 5 o'clock, and say that she's sick and needs to cancel. So this is less than 24 hours. So Handy wants to charge my wife $40. Now, this lady uses a landline. She's an elderly lady. She doesn't use smartphone or any of that type of technology. She calls Angie List on a landline, makes a booking on a landline. We cannot contact her. We cannot text her. We cannot do anything through the app to get a hold of this client. So she gets a hold of Handy, who has the worst customer service 80% of the time of any other type of company that I've ever dealt with. They have horrible people working for them. Every now and then you get somebody who's got some common sense and understands business and understands customer service and understands service to their pros. Every now and then, 1 in 20. Their customer service is horrible. You can't talk to anybody on the phone. You can only talk to them through text. So my wife contacts them and says, hey, this booking needs to cancel. I can't afford to cancel it because they charge us to cancel it. Even day of, with a client asking to cancel it. They will charge her to cancel this, mainly because she can't text the customer and verify that it needs to be canceled through text. She explained to the Handy customer representatives that this woman uses a landline. And the lady got sassy with her, at least that's how it sounds in the text, and tell her, just text the customer, April. Just text the customer. She can't. Now, this person said she's talking back and forth to a whole bunch of other handy. Maybe she's not paying enough attention to realize that she's talking to somebody who has a client with a landline. And maybe handy shouldn't be having one customer multitasking 5 or 6 different customers coming through, pros, all at the same time. You need dedicated service. So what I want everybody to know who wants to watch this and share this, if you need handyman service, find a local handyman. And if you can, do it without the handy service or without Angie's List. Find somebody who knows somebody who has somebody to work on their house. Get that reference. And don't waste your time. And be fair. That's all you got to do, because handy is not fair. In my opinion, they overcharge people. They keep a lot of it. A lot of it. Like almost 50% most of the time. And then when there's trouble, they want to charge the customer. They want to charge the pro, so that no matter what, they're going to make money, even if they did nothing. And that ain't how life works. Not in this type of trade service industry. You do something, you get paid for it. Now, if you show up at the job because the job wasn't canceled, there's fees. Understand that. But the customer called. We cannot cancel without being charged. The customer cannot cancel through the app. And we can't do it either. And Handy is wanting to charge us. Probably charge the customer because my wife isn't going to show up. She's talked to him on the phone this morning. Told him the customer wants to cancel. But I bet you when the booking shows up and April doesn't show up, they're probably going to try to book her or charge her for not showing up, which they charge the full amount if you don't show up. And they're probably going to charge the customer. This is the service that people are trusting, and it is very untrustworthy. Very. Angie List calls me all the time, and I'm not even signed up with them. I only work through Handy, which is in collaboration with them when they can't find nobody to do their work. So they send it to us, and Angie's List don't even know who I am. Angie's List hadn't even done a background check on me. Angie's List calls me and tries to get me to install TVs into people's houses, and they haven't even run a background check on me. Think about that, people. Think about it. They are not what they say they are. I'm sure there's good handymen out there. I'm sure there's good cleaning people out there that will come to your house, not rip you off, and do the job. But I'm telling you right now that these services are taking advantage of people and they're ripping people off. And I advise you to not use them. I advise you to find somebody who knows somebody and get those men and women to come do your home, work on your home, service whatever you need. That's what I advise. Handy, Angie's List, thumbs down. Just because of their customer service and the way they treat people. Anyways, pass this on, please. Let people know if you're interested in sharing it. Good morning. Hope you had a good Easter. God bless you. Hallelujah. Jesus is Lord. The Handy platform has a lot to be desired.